ever visiting.
Right.
Yeah.
So, because like me, I want a big house, but she's like,
Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go!
That's what champions do.
What is the ceiling for this kid? Now that he's got the money, and we saw something click with him, what is the ceiling for a Jordan Love in this Green Bay team?
Deepest pass target group in the National Football League. 2 stud tight ends. They're legit 5 deep at receiver, 7 bona fide pass targets. Come on, man. This guy could be a stud. Top 5 quarterback.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
It just goes to show you how special this guy is, and I can't figure out why he doesn't cut through like the Tiger Woods of the world in that kind of dominant fashion in years past.
He stepped up to the tee box on the 14th hole, and he was 60-1 to win that golf tournament. He was trailing by 6 shots, and he comes out on top.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
However many units are on the line, however many people, however many cocktails, it's a perfect scorecard. And someone questioned him on one hole. He's like, well, one thing I never get wrong is the scorecard. And then we're on 13 and he's added up and he's like, this is wrong.
I looked back from number 13 and I'm like, I'm missing $140 somewhere. I don't know where I'm missing it. And I'm looking back and I'm like, no, it doesn't match up on 11. And I got to track it back to number 7.
Only on SportsGrid.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible. Hanging out, the bad seat, the broken day, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City. The Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directed traffic, some kind of fashion shaker, along with the great predictor who called the White Sox win over the Yankees last night. I'm surprised he didn't call the exact run total of a 10-run blowout. It's your boy, Carver High, this afternoon. Mafia running it with Luke, I am your father. It's C2C on a Terrible Towel Tuesday. The lineup, Morency, a double shot this very hour from Vancouver. You know him from Sports Rage and on the grid and on C2C. We'll hang out with Gabe in a little bit. In the second hour, Sean Pendergast from Houston and 6:10 a.m., the morning drive show out of H-Town. And then in the final hour, Ian O'Connor, the great writer and the author of the Aaron Rodgers book that's out now. Very deep dive into Rodgers' life and family, etc. Plus, Carver High with a special sit down with Brady Cannon, the Live Greenbrier preview. How many Live tournaments has Carver High and his golf crew hit this year? How about 90% of them, Romeo? Carver High with the big call last night. He said, I don't know when, but the White Sox will beat the Yankees in a game in this series. It might be tonight. It might be tomorrow night. It might be the next night, but the White Sox are going to win. And then they pasted the Yankees by 10 runs last night, Carver High.
They absolutely did. Look, I told you they were going to lose a game. After watching them last night, they might lose 2. They might lose 2 to them, especially with Cortez, who's going to go tonight. How absolutely gutless was that from them last night to go out there and get destroyed by a team that's 60 games? What are they? 50, 60 games under 500?
Yeah.
How
they'd lost 24 of 25.
How pathetic are the Yankees? And me and you have said it for years. They will never win with that manager. They will never win with him because the team takes on the personality of the manager. And I can't wait later on Coast to Coast to play him again with the, well, thought we had some good at-bats out there, and we had, it's all right in front of us. It's all right in front of us. Going to lose the series to the White Sox this week. You watch. Team that. When was the last time the White Sox won a series? May? So they'll get one this week. They'll beat the Yankees. I'm telling you. Just wait. It's going to happen for them. I was stunned. Look, I thought they'd lose a game. I didn't think they'd get laughed at and embarrassed like they did last night.
And listen, did you see the guys that literally, I have to pull this up. It cracked me up. I couldn't get enough of it. The guys that produced in that game, I can't even tell you. Gavin Sheets, a career high 4 hits, drove in 4 runs. Corey Lee, Brooks Baldwin, Brooks Ross.
What?
Like, I honestly, I have never heard of any of them. I've never heard of any of them.
You've got to be
Andrew
kidding
Vaughn,
me.
who are these people?
Well, Andrew, I'll say this, just because you know me with the taters. Andrew Vaughn's actually been pretty good for the White Sox this year. I'll give you Andrew Vaughn. But Brooks Baldwin hitting home runs, 3-run homers to blow you out, it was the low point of the Yankees season. And that's hurt. And Jazz gets hurt as well. And I know that there's people who aren't Yankee fans, Scotty, that probably watch us from other parts of the country, or probably like, listen to these two guys complain about a team that has 70 wins and they're in first place. We want to see them win the World Series, but they're not going to because they're gutless. That's why. They are never going to win with that manager. Absolutely never. I'm upset. Now I'll get you upset. Are you ready? I decided to do this to you today to start the show. You told me yesterday, I don't want to hear about Brandon Ayuk anymore. I'm done talking about Brandon Ayuk. I don't want any more Brandon Ayuk stories on Coast to Coast. Too bad. I have to start with one today because this just came out from Ian Rappaport from the NFL Network. He gave us an update, Scotty. You want an update on the Brandon Ayuk situation? Because he just put one out. The Steelers and the 49ers have a deal on a potential trade, and Pittsburgh is in a good place on a contract. They are comfortable with what they would have to pay Ayuk. They're just waiting for San Francisco to give the final sign-off, and it's a done deal. San Francisco has an offer out to Ayuk on a long-term deal for him to stay. He hasn't accepted. So you didn't want Ayuk news, but you get it anyway. The Steelers have a deal, and the 49ers are sitting in their office waiting to say yes or no.
I mean, honestly, you're just doing this to aggravate me. We're 8 minutes into this show, and I'm ready to jump.
I have to give you the news that comes across my desk. I mean, they put this out. Ayuk and the Steelers have a trade. Niners and the Steelers have a trade. They're comfortable with the money. They're comfortable with this. But there's still no deal. But they're comfortable with everything that surrounds the deal, Scotty, just so you know. That'll get you going here on our.
Yeah, I see it. Have the trade to land him and waiting for the Niners to sign it. I'm waiting for. I can't breathe. Okay, I can't breathe over here. I'm waiting to choke myself out. I'm gonna choke myself. I'm gonna put myself to sleep, not breathing. What do they say? Don't hold your breath. Like if I held my breath on this, I'd be choked out. Honestly, this has gone on for the entire summer. Literally the entire summer. It might as well be the opening night, Kansas City, Baltimore. It might as well be opening night. Or you could say the college football kickoff. It might as well be Florida State and Georgia Tech tonight. I've waited so long for this trade to go down. I don't even care anymore if they get him. In fact, if they get him, I may not like him. I may turn on him before he even puts on the Steeler helmet. I'd turn on him as this guy dragging this out like an ex-wife. Honestly, this is like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's divorce. It's been going on for 5 years.
You won't turn on him, though, if Russell Wilson throws him a touchdown in that Week 1 game. You're not going to turn on him then.
Steelers. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
You're not gonna be upset if that first game in Atlanta, Russell Wilson to Brandon Ayuk with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, giving the Steelers a win. Then you will love him forever.
Is that who they open with? At the Falcons?
Yes, the Steelers are in Atlanta against the Steelers and against the Falcons in week
They'll
number
screw
1.
that up nice and juicy.
The other piece of big NFL news today is there was a hotly contested, I guess you could say, quarterback competition between rookie J.J. McCarthy and Sam Darnold in Minnesota. Well, that's over now. J.J. McCarthy is going to be having surgery. He has a meniscus issue in his knee. They're not going to know how severe it is until they actually get in there and open up his knee. But Sam Darnold now locked and loaded as the Viking quarterback. It's unfortunate because, as you said yesterday, McCarthy actually played pretty well in that preseason game over the weekend, but he will not be there, at least at the start and maybe for even longer.
Listen, let's, at the very least, breathe a sigh of relief here that it's a meniscus and not the ACL. Yeah. An ACL is a year. A meniscus is, 6 to 8 weeks. When they clean that up, it's no different than, frankly, Embiid's. The meniscus, when I thought I tore my knee, it was a meniscus. I sprained it. I didn't tear it. I didn't even have to have it scoped. But I know I heard a pop, and I know it hurt, and I know I couldn't put any weight on it. It's a relatively easy cleanup, I think, for the most part. Most people would say you're lucky if it's a meniscus and not the ACL, that he's better off. He'll be fine. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's not earth-shattering, but it is going to be several weeks.
And set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
I'm talking about playing Keontae George, Taylor Hendricks, Isaiah Collier, the rookie, Cody Williams, the rookie, Bryce Santamore, second year, maybe keeping Walker Kessler. That means either Danny Ainge thinks that they're going to be a championship team in 3 to 4 years, or he's going to wait 1 year and he's going to trade Lauri Markkanen and he's going to get the farm.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Say the under has the correct juice to the 6.5 win total for the New York Giants. It's a losing season. It's a bad season in the greater New York area. Is Brian Daboll and is Joe Shane back next year?
As a Giants fan, what are you looking forward to? Absolutely nothing. You're hoping like the Yankees make a long enough run so you can forget about the Giants.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
The bottom of this field is a bunch of guys, quite frankly, that aren't on the tour, aren't on the DP tour, aren't on the Corn Ferry tour.
The top 25 or so in this field, I mean, you've got Rory, you've got Lowry, you've got Scheffler, all 4 Americans, Minwoo Lee and Jason Day. And you go to Mito Pereira and Joaquin Neiman out of Chile. So, it really is pretty deep.
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
Oh, what's up? You watching the game? Or maybe the one later? Put a little BetMGM action on it, and now any game becomes the game. When you got overs and unders, you're in it every time they throw the ball, kick the ball, dribble the ball. Maybe it's not even a ball. Who needs a ball? Now that bet's got you watching every inning, half, round, period, set, hole, a lap. Right from the edge of your seat. Hit him with the promo.
All right, you can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 on all of our various outlets on the TV side, TV stations, streaming networks, radio, Sports Byline USA, their affiliates on the terrestrial side, satellite radio on Sirius XM channel 159. And you can catch Gabe on Coast to Coast every day with a double shot right here from Vancouver. I wanted to start with your boy. We just were talking about him, J.J. McCarthy, with that meniscus. I said that it's better than the ACL. It's not the end of the world. They'll clean that up. He'll be fine. He'll play this year. I think it's an 8-week thing at least.
You know what? In today's football, I don't care what league it is, you're going to need multiple quarterbacks because QBs are going to get hurt. It's just the reality of football. But if you're J.J. McCarthy, you know, you're going to have to deal with some adversity, and he hasn't had to deal with a lot of adversity in his football career, to be honest. He won a state championship. He won a national championship. Everything has just sort of gone the kid's way. After he won the national championship, he got married like a couple of days later. Like, you know, the kid was on top of the world. So this is sort of the reality check. Welcome to the National Football League, but good call, Scott. From a medical standpoint, it's not the end of the world. And he wasn't going to start the season as good as he was. He was playing well. We saw he threw the interception on his first drive, and then he responded with 2 touchdowns after. But Sam Darnold has been playing well enough that he was going to be the starting quarterback regardless. And I like Sam Darnold. I think I'm buying in on Sam Darnold this year, Scott. I think Sam Darnold can move the sticks for the Minnesota Vikings. But at the same point in time, I also expect Sam Darnold to get hurt. So maybe it works out for them. You know, the Darnold plays well for the first half of the season, and something happens, and all right, JJ's coming back in here right now, right? I get the feeling they're both going to end up playing one way or another.
So let me switch back to his alma mater for a second. They came in ranked 9th in the AP preseason polls. The last time defending champ was that low was, I guess, Auburn, when Cam Newton had won the Heisman, and they came out number 23, I think, to start in the preseason poll. And they've already had all this drama with the NCAA after them and Sharon Moore and Harbaugh. Then they said Harbaugh was going to be the honorary captain. Now they're saying that's not going to happen. Can Michigan live up to all of this freak show they got going on and all these distractions?
It's very un-Ann Arbor-like, isn't it? Like over the years, like what they've become. But I guess if you want to win, this is what the reality you're going to deal with. But they're not big on drama. The dean, the university, they're very clean cut, white wine, you know, Docker wearing crew here. And you're right. It always seems like there's something with Michigan. Number one, as far as the ranking is concerned, fine. I think you're just going to light a fire under these kids right now. As you stated, the lowest ranked team since 2011 when Cam Newton left. I get it. Michigan lost a lot, including their quarterback, including their coach. But, you know, I think people really, quite frankly, don't really know the players that well, Scott. It's sort of generalized. Well, this many players got drafted in the National Football League. Let me just put it this way. Donovan Edwards is their running back. Donovan Edwards is projected to be the number 1 or the number 2 pick at that position in the draft. Not the draft, but the number 1 or number 2 running back taken in the NFL draft.
Right.
Will Johnson, their cornerback, he's projected to be the number 1 or number 2 quarterback after Hunter. If Hunter's a wide receiver, DB, whatever. Hunter and Johnson, if you look at the odds, Johnson's right there. Mason Graham is one of the best defensive linemen in the country. Same thing. Like, so for all this, they lost a lot of NFL draft picks. Yeah, Scott, they also have a ton of NFL draft picks on their team still now, right? They, you know, Michigan are like Ohio State and Georgia right now. They just reload. It's not like, oh, we lost a bunch of people. It's like, no, you should see the next kid. He's actually better, believe it or not. So the one thing about Sharon Moore, he's going to get hit, Scott, and I've been digging in a little bit deeper to this. What do they actually have? Like, what's, you know, what can they do? Evidently, Sharon Moore deleted all of his text messages that he had with Connor Stallions, like every one of them over the years.
I would have too.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't. He goes, I don't have a single message here from him. I don't know what you're talking about. And I guess they were able to prove that he deleted them all. So he's deemed uncooperative as well. This last stuff, guys, the Harbaugh stuff, you know, it's over a freaking cheeseburger, huh? Like literally. Like, so we can pretend there's big scandals and stuff. Like, this is what happens, man, when you get to the top. People want to bring you down for stupid stuff. Harbaugh brought a kid out for lunch during the pandemic when he wasn't supposed to be meeting people. Okay, shoot him.
So what?
That's what he did. He brought a kid out. He met a recruit during the pandemic, and he bought the kid lunch, a cheeseburger, and there was a bill to it. And they tracked down a bill to a cheeseburger, and Harbaugh denied it. And, like, he got that stupid. Like, it's just all so dumb, bro. But, hey, it is what it is. I think more will get hit. But I'll tell you what, Scott, Michigan are being underappreciated and undervalued here this year. There's teams ahead of them in the poll here. Like, a good example is Texas. Okay, what the hell has Texas done, Scott? Like, they sort of got better. They made the playoffs, and, oh, Texas, number 3 in the country. Okay, we're going to find out in week 2. Texas go to Michigan. The Oregon Ducks. People are ready to give the Oregon Ducks the championship right now, Scott. You lost twice to Washington last year. Dan Lanning is 4-4 in one-score games. I've never seen Dylan Gabriel win a big football game before. And, oh, yeah, you're not playing Washington State and Oregon State now in your little civil war. You're in the Big Ten, baby.
Yeah.
And it's, Oregon number 3 in the country. I don't buy it. I think Texas are overrated in the polls. I think Oregon are overrated in the polls. I think Notre Dame. How the hell are Notre Dame ranked ahead of Michigan? When was the last time Notre Dame won a big game, Scott? When Lou Holtz was there?
Never.
Yeah, Lou Holtz. Tony Rice. You beat West Virginia, Major Harris in the 80s. Good for you. Oh, you're ranked number 7. You're not even going to win the first game of the year. So I'll watch this poll stuff, Scott. One by one, all these teams out of Michigan are going to lose, and it doesn't matter.
That was honestly, that is such a great memory of Tony Rice.
Like that old
Major
school, Tony
Harris.
Rice, Major Harris, yeah.
That is a delicious old school memory. Both of those guys.
I love
are
Major
badasses.
Harris.
We're going to talk about Dr. Dre when we come back.
Oh, yeah.
Russell Wilson listed as quarterback 1 on, of course, every team's got to put out these dopey unofficial depth charts before their preseason games. Wilson listed as 1, but Fields is going to start the preseason opener against the Texans.
I still think they're going to start Wilson, but, if they start Fields, so be it. Like, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I know this. I think they're both talented.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
What is the ceiling for this kid? Now that he's got the money, and we saw something click with him, what is the ceiling for a Jordan Love in this Green Bay team?
Deepest pass target group in the National Football League. 2 stud tight ends. They're legit 5 deep at receivers. 7 bona fide pass targets. Come on, man. This guy could be a stud. Top 5 quarterback.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Say the under has the correct juice to the 6.5 win total for the New York Giants. It's a losing season. It's a bad season in the greater New York area. Is Brian Daboll and is Joe Shane back next year?
As a Giants fan, what are you looking forward to? Absolutely nothing. You're hoping like the Yankees make a long enough run so you can forget about the Giants.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
Well, I have my reservations about the Miami Canes, and I've made that clear here on C2C that I hear all this 10-win stuff and the U's back. I hear that every year for 25 years that the U is back since Larry Coker, and they just aren't back. But the grandiose predictions about them now, since this poll came out, they're 19th, and I've been hearing they're going to win the ACC. that they're a playoff team, and that year 3 for Cristobal is going to be huge because they had the number 1 transfer portal like rake. And then Morency in the break said to me, Mario Cristobal sucks.
Let's just call it out for what it is. I don't know how this guy falls ass backwards into better jobs all the time, which he does. But he didn't do anything with the Ducks. Then he gets this Miami Hurricane job. Literally cost them 2 games last year with his decisions on the football field, if not more. His coaching staffs are always chaotic. Teams take a lot of penalties. It's just reflective of an unorganized program. And you're right. There's a ton of hype about these guys. I'm seeing a lot of Miami to make the playoffs this year. I think Florida State are better than they are. I think Clemson are better than they are. And I'll tell you what, I like the Florida Gators in week 1, Scott. Sorry, I know you're a Canes guy, but you're going into Gainesville here. And, the Gators have had a nice camp. Their win total is low. Napier's on the hot seat. They've got a vicious schedule. This is a massive football game for them. And we've seen them. They got it done against Utah. We've seen them step up in week 1. Gainesville's not an easy place to play. Yes, you've got Cam Ward, but is Mario Cristobal going to be able to put this all together, Scott? So in the big picture, I don't think Miami are terrible at anything. Wouldn't you agree? A 10-2 season would be awesome for Miami.
It'd be incredible.
Great. Yeah, so 10-2. If you go 10-2, that's great. I sort of think that's the best case scenario. Maybe they 9-3. That first game's massive, Scott, and that the loser of that game, bros. You want to talk about a hot seat after week 1? We're talking about the state of Florida. They're already upset with Cristobal in Miami as it is. We've already seen them go through a million coaches and guys that have won championships and Rick and you know what I mean? They can't settle on a coach. They can't find that guy. And Cristobal has to know that he's not set for life there or anything like that. And you got Billy Napier, who they like in Gainesville, but the results aren't there. This is a big game, Scott. The loser of this, that coach at that losing press conference, I wouldn't want to be in his chair. But I think it's going to be the Gators that win that game. And quickly about the poll here too, Alabama. I think they got it right with Alabama, guys. Listen, Michigan has beaten Ohio State 3 straight years. We're not living in the past, so I could get it. Ohio State are so loaded. So you got Georgia, Ohio State. I'm not going to cry about it. I think the Ducks are overrated at 3. I think Texas are overrated at 4. I think Bama, I would literally have Michigan 3rd, and I'd have Bama 4th. The Ole Miss love to me, come on, man. If you look at the top 10 this year, guys, look at this, Scott. There's a lot of teams that are the paper champions, the TV champions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's Texas. Okay, you're big. You haven't won anything. The Ducks, you haven't won anything forever. Ole Miss, you lost by 48 last year. Whenever you play someone real, you get smashed. Notre Dame, whatever, guys. Have fun on NBC against Navy. Penn State, come on. Right? Penn State are winning the championship? Not. So you got Michigan, another team, Florida State, Scott, and you asked about Florida State and Missouri. Both badasses. The problem with Missouri, their schedule is freaking brutal. So if they can survive these back-to-back road games they got to play, God bless them. Right. And I'm really high on Missouri, but I think the schedule is a killer. But Florida State, Scott, they lost their quarterback. Their new quarterback might be better. They got DJU at the quarterback position right now. They're locked and loaded. Word out of Tallahassee is this defense is scary good.
So what about Dr. Dre? Is he going to be in archery in L.A. shooting bow and arrow?
As a betting man, I got to say that he doesn't make the team, Scott. You guys going to beat the best archers in the world? But Dr. Dre evidently was a star on the high school archery team. He's always been an archery enthusiast, and he says that he's been practicing around the clock, and he's obsessed with this. And now that he's sort of winding down his musical career, he wants to wrap it up by doing the Olympics in his hometown of L.A., and he says he's dead-ass serious about it.
And Snoop will be his manager.
Crazy, huh? It's a betting man. I say he doesn't make it, but I hope he does.
Show him your shoes. Can you grab your shoes really quick, your French shoes? Look at
his
shoes.
Little Team France action there. That little sweet,
Team
huh?
France. Look at that. He's got them.
As a cock sportif.
As it gets.
Wilson listed as quarterback 1 on, of course, every team's got to put out these dopey unofficial depth charts before their preseason games. Wilson listed as 1, but Fields is going to start the preseason opener against the Texans.
I still think they're going to start Wilson, but, if they start Fields, so be it. Like, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I know this. I think they're both talented.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
What is the ceiling for this kid? Now that he's got the money, and we saw something click with him, what is the ceiling for a Jordan Love in this Green Bay team?
Deepest pass target group in the National Football League. 2 stud tight ends. They're legit 5 deep at receiver. 7 bona fide pass targets. Come on, man. This guy could be a stud. Top 5 quarterback.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Say the under has the correct juice to the 6.5 win total for the New York Giants. It's a losing season. It's a bad season in the greater New York area. Is Brian Daboll and is Joe Shane back next year?
As a Giants fan, what are you looking forward to? Absolutely nothing. You're hoping like the Yankees make a long enough run so you can forget about the Giants.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
Morency got me a BC Lions hoodie, Carver High. I look fantastic in it, and it's going to be ready for the fall foliage, right? And not only that, perfect orange and black, the BC Lions colors. Not only that, clearly I'll be the only person in Manhattan with a BC Lions hoodie. No one wears the CFL better than Uncle Futrelli in New York City with my new Morency bought BC Lions hoodie. Styling. Thanks, Morency. I got it today in the mail. I'm actually pimping in it. I actually had, when I put it on, 34C did call me Dr. Dre.
I wouldn't be surprised if people saw you walking around with that. The majority of the people are probably going to say to you, what high school was that? Or what, like, they're going to ask you, like, is that a high school team you got there? What is the BC? And you'll have to get into a big explanation about CFL getting involved with everything. Yeah, Bergen Catholic, all that. That's what you'll have to start telling everybody. All right, we have a lot to do today. We'll start with all the baseball from last night. Of course, we've already gotten upset about the Yankees losing to the White Sox to open up that series in Chicago. So why not just relive a little bit of it here on Coast to Coast today? We'll start today with the 12-2 win for the White Sox. And here it is, Scotty. You wanted it. You got it. Brooks Baldwin on NBC Sports Chicago.
This one well hit to right field. And it is gone! Brooks Baldwin with his second big league home run, and the Sox have blown it open. Yeah, give me some more fireworks. 11-2 over the Yankees. How about it?
Is that the guy that did the Southsiders?
Yeah. Yep. Same guy. Same guy. Look, there's not a lot of moments to have fun.
Let's party.
Southsiders, let's party. You got to remember, they haven't had a lot of fun moments this year.
How about none?
They haven't had a lot to cheer about. So beating up on the mighty Yankees, that's something for them to all get excited about. And they did it last night. And with Cortez going tonight, they might do it again. So here's Boone We are extremely unfair here on Coast to Coast. We only play Boone when the Yankees lose. All right, we don't play Boone when the Yankees win. We only play him when they lose and watch him like sit there and slither.
He sounds
and
like
try
they
to,
won.
Exactly. He makes you think that they actually won the game. They lost 12-2 to an historically awful baseball team. But if you listen to Aaron, hey, you know what? It's okay. We'll just get him tomorrow.
I mean, every time you lose, missed opportunity. Like, we're playing for a lot every freaking day. So it's, it sucks to lose. Really good, exhilarating when you win. But either way, you turn the page. I mean, the bottom line is, credit to them. Everything they hit tonight was a hit, And, I thought we played hard. I thought we did a lot of really good things on defense. We made some really good plays, had some outs at the plate, manufactured a run with, Jazz and opening up a lane. We just, we couldn't punch through. We didn't hit the ball out of the ballpark, and we couldn't stop them, and they got a lot of hits. So we got to execute better than that, but just one of those nights.
Oh, God, this guy. I mean, honestly, again, for the 5 millionth time, I've said it on this show, George is rolling in his grave. George Steinbrenner is absolutely turning in his grave.
Look, that last night was another one, and I'm really upset at myself. I should have here in the studio put the chalk. I should have put a chalkboard up and noted all the quote unquote George would have fired somebody losses over the last 3 or 4 years, because I think we would have added last night to the board, right? I mean, getting embarrassed by that team who's 50 games under 500. Yeah, well, but they're not just the worst team in baseball.
Historic.
They're the worst team in the last 30 years in baseball. Like, that's how bad they are. And they embarrassed the Yankees last night. So that's how it goes. Nice job. Jazz Chisholm left.
Are you betting on them losing to them tonight with Cortez pitching the way he's been on the road?
I'd go right back to the White Sox tonight. I'd go right back to them. I mean, I look at it this way. If you played the White Sox at 270 last night, right? Was it 270? I think it was. And so you're up 270. You lose tonight, it's 170. You lose tomorrow, it's 70. You're going to be up no matter what at the end of the series. So I would just go for more. It's 240 tonight. We'll give you all the numbers later. Yeah. They could beat this guy tonight. You watch, and this Cannon, who's pitching for the White Sox tonight, who's been dreadful, he'll look like Cy Young against the Yankee lineup tonight. You watch, Cannon. We'll go and then what will happen is, this is how much
he's going to look like Wilbur Wood.
This is how much we've done this, me and you, that we can really write the script on how the Yankees are going to go. They'll lose again tonight. It'll be a closer game. They won't get destroyed. They'll lose something, like 5-4, something like that. And then tomorrow, they'll destroy them. They'll win 15-2 or something tomorrow, and they'll thump their chest going out the door despite losing 2 out of 3 to the White Sox by saying, oh, we really got the bats going tonight. A lot of positives to take as we're leaving town. That's how the series will go for the Yankees over the next couple of days. There you go. And they probably won't have Chisholm tonight. I'll let you know if the lineup comes out. He injured the elbow on the slide. I'm sure you saw that, Scotty. The X-rays were negative. I know he's going to get some more tests done today. Man, that would be a good blow. He's been great since they traded for him. That'd be awful to lose that bat in the lineup.
I mean, are you kidding me? They've had this guy for 2-3 weeks, and he's injured already. And he got injured, I think, in the first game he played. Remember, he ran into the second baseman, rounding second up at Fenway, and took that elbow to the chops. They thought he was concussed, but he was okay, and he ended up staying in the game. But now he's injured his elbow. And then what were they saying about him being overrated?
Well, you remember they did that poll last year, the players poll, and he was voted the most overrated player in Major League Baseball. And I guess he did some interview where he kind of gave those people the business, those players the business, saying that he's not, what do they know, et cetera, et cetera. So Jazz, not thrilled. I don't think he's the most overrated player in baseball. I never thought, does he? He got a lot of high. I guess when they put you on the cover of a video game before you win MVP, I guess that makes you overhyped, right? I guess that's how it goes. I never thought he was overhyped.
Yeah, listen, he's been fantastic since they got him, hitting home runs left and right, making plays. They put him at an unnatural position, and he basically conquered that. What hasn't he done to make the Yankees better? And then people say he's overrated. I like his response to it. He's like, I don't care what people think of me.
That's it. That's the response that you should have for a situation like this. Let's sneak one more in. Cleveland beat the Cubbies 9-8 last night. Hope you had the over in Cleveland. Tied, bottom of the eighth inning, Josh Naylor, who we're going to talk about a lot today, especially when we get to Tater Time on Bally Sports Great Lakes.
Big chopper over the head of Paredes. Go-ahead run scores. Talk about spreading out and just putting it in play. That's what Josh Naylor did. Beat it into the ground.
So there you go. They needed that, but that was a wild game in Cleveland last night.
That was a very wild game in Cleveland. So we'll come back and we'll hit the rest of these games from last night. I got to tell you, we rang the bell a couple times. I know they were in losses, so I don't necessarily have those for you. But Corey Seager, ding, ding. And how about Mickey, forget the cognac.
My God.
Get me the Moniac. Late night
What
for
a
the
call.
Angels.
What was he, 8-1?
He was
8-1.
plus 425, I think. He was actually pretty.
God.
He was right. Hey, and it wins a win, baby. 425.
No one's ever heard of him. And then you pick him hitting a home run that night. That's crazy. I saw that
Forget
home
the
run. I almost
cognac.
fell over.
Russell Wilson listed as quarterback one on, of course, every team's got to put out these dopey unofficial depth charts before their preseason games. Wilson listed as one, but Fields is going to start the preseason opener against the Texans.
I still think they're going to start Wilson, but, if they start Fields, so be it. Like, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I know this. I think they're both talented.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
What is the ceiling for this kid? Now that he's got the money, and we saw something click with him, what is the ceiling for a Jordan Love in this Green Bay team?
Deepest pass target group in the National Football League. 2 stud tight ends. They're a legit 5 deep at receiver. 7 bona fide pass targets, Gil. Come on, man. This guy could be a stud. Top 5 quarterback.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Say the under has the correct juice to the 6.5 win total for the New York Giants. It's a losing season. It's a bad season in the greater New York area. Is Brian Daboll and is Joe Shane back next year?
As a Giants fan, what are you looking forward to? Absolutely nothing. You're hoping like the Yankees make a long enough run so you can forget about the Giants.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
I got to tell you about BetMGM's first bet offer, the $1,500 in bonus bets back to you. It's incredible. How do you get it? 4 easy steps. 1, download the BetMGM mobile app on iOS or Android or visit BetMGM.com. 2, sign up. Deposit at least $10 into your new account. 3, place your first wager and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if the bet loses. And 4, if the bet does lose, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled. You're going to love it. The BetMGM first bet, $1,500. You can't beat that, Carver High.
You can't beat that. Not at all. It's as good as it gets when it comes to getting involved, which we're going to be doing a lot tonight. I got to tell you, I love this tater slate tonight. I just absolutely love it. The Tuesdays are like one of my favorite days of the week because everyone's in action, and it's like gas can central tonight, like all over baseball. So, I mean, this is as good as it gets. All right, Reds beat the Cardinals 6-1 last night. Astros beat the Rays 6-1. The Red Sox beat the Rangers 5-4 in 10 innings. We did get a Seager homer in that game. I got to tell you who's played pretty well for the Red Sox, Scotty, and it's a guy the Yankees had a long time back, and they let him go. Rob Refsnyder has had a lot of big hits for them. Another one last night, walking it off on ESPN.
Yeah, with the winning run just 90 feet away. Snyder walked into first, singled into 7th. Seating is optional right now in Fenway Park.
It's not many of them sitting right now. I mean, why would you be?
Refsnyder on a line, left center field, and that's down, and that's the ball game. Good night from Fenway.
There you go. Good night, Irene.
Good night, Irene, indeed. The Dodgers beat the Brewers 5-2 in Milwaukee. A big welcome back, Scotty, to Mookie Betts. Of course, was out for months after getting hit in the wrist by a pitch, and then his first game back says hello on Sportsnet LA.
This is blasted. Left field and deep. On the track, at the wall. Mookie Betts back with a bang. A 2-run homer for Mookie Betts. The Dodgers strike first in Milwaukee.
And how about that? They start winning immediately when he's back. Ohtani hit one, and look who won the game, Kershaw.
Yep, Kershaw pitched well, and I was going to say to you, they've obviously been caught here a little bit by the Padres and the Diamondbacks, and they've been missing so many guys. They got Betts back last night. Muncie's on a rehab assignment. He's been out for months too, and I saw him hitting balls off the wall down in Oklahoma City or wherever their minor league affiliate is. Yamamoto's starting to throw the ball a little bit, although he's probably still a couple weeks away. They're starting to get everyone back, so I know they had a long stretch there where it was really just Ohtani and Teoscar, kind of carrying them. But they're going to get everyone back at the right time, Scotty, September.
That's horrible news.
It's horrible news.
I don't find that to be invigorating at all. That's depressing to me.
Well, especially if we don't want them to win. That really is depressing because they're only going to get better once all of those guys get back into the
That's exactly what I want. Them not to win.
The Twins beat the Royals 8-3. Royce Lewis for the Twins on Bally Sports North, getting involved with a very big fly last night.
You have confidence in that third pitch to give him a different look. Lewis unloads to left field. Deep, Melendez at the wall. That is gone. That's how you answer right there. In his second game against the Royals all year, guess what? He's homered in both games. A 2-out, 2-run shot, and the Twins have put up 6 here in the second.
If it wasn't for Kirby Puckett, honestly, they'd never have won because it doesn't matter what they do. They could be the best team in baseball. When they go to the playoffs, they lay an egg. Like the Yankees have beat them like 100 times. I can't keep track of all their failures in the postseason, so even though they're like headed towards that now, it looks like, I'm not worried about them.
Well, of course, who would they play if the playoffs started today?
The Yankees.
It is amazing they can never get away from them, right? They just can never get away from the Yankees. It doesn't matter if they win the division, they're a wild card. They just, for once, they're probably sitting there going, can we get on the other side of the bracket from them? Can we be on the away from the Yankees? They're just
they need
always
to be in the National League.
Oh, man. Very unlucky for them. What a shame, as we always like to say. The Jays beat the Angels 4-2 last night. We already talked about Moniak. Don't give me the cognac with the home run for us. Who cares that the Angels lost as long as he homered. The Arizona Diamondbacks staying hot again. Unconventional way, though, last night, Scotty. They were down for most of this game, And then in the bottom of the 7th, they tie the game and take the lead on back-to-back wild pitches on MLB Network.
Gets away! Carroll scores and Newman gets to third. He was off on the pitch. And a defensive mistake ties it at 4. For Newman. And that one gets away. Here comes Newman.
Yeah.
He scores. Are you serious?
That's crazy. 2 wild pitches. You talk about having luck on your side.
But that's the thing. Like when you're running good, like Arizona's running good right now. Those things just happen to fall your way. It is pretty amazing. Elsewhere, the Braves beat the Giants 1-0 in 10 innings. Did you see, Scott? Let me tell you, these guys pitched great. And I thought one of them won. I was dead wrong. The game was a dead under. Sale, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 12 strikeouts. Snell on the other side, 6 1/3, 2 hits, no runs, 11 strikeouts. 23 strikeouts combined between Sale and Snell last night.
I mean, 12 and 11, that is crazy. What a game, 1-0 at Oracle, and the Braves come through for Sale, and he gets the win. It's unbelievable.
They will have the Fisherman, Charlie Morton, tonight
Yes,
in San Francisco. Once again, we'll get to that later. I got one other game for you, a couple of other notes, and then we'll start to get into tonight's games. Full slate. Everybody's in action. Russell Wilson listed as quarterback 1 on, of course, every team's got to put out these dopey unofficial depth charts before their preseason games. Wilson listed as 1, but Fields is going to start the preseason opener against the Texans.
I still think they're going to start Wilson, but, if they start Fields, so be it. Like, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I know this. I think they're both talented.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
What is the ceiling for this kid? Now that he's got the money, and we saw something click with him, what is the ceiling for a Jordan Love in this Green Bay team?
Deepest pass target group in the National Football League. 2 stud tight ends. They're a legit 5 deep at receiver. 7 bona fide pass targets deal. Come on, man. This guy could be a stud. Top 5 quarterback.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid. Say the under has the correct juice to the 6.5 win total for the New York Giants. It's a losing season. It's a bad season in the greater New York area. Is Brian Daboll and is Joe Shane back next year?
As a Giants fan, what are you looking forward to? Absolutely nothing. You're hoping like the Yankees make a long enough run so you can forget about the Giants.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's go. Welcome to the Live Golf Team Championship. The golf has been mesmerizing. They are the Live Golf Team Champions.
Team golf is back.
Oh, yes!
Are you ready?
Let's go! That's what champions do.
How about those Friars, Carver High?
The Friars stay hot as well last night, Scotty, and they beat the Padres 2-1. And the highlight for me in that game, that was another game, good pitching on both sides. Final at bat of the game, Reynolds was up with the Pirates with a chance to make something happen, lined out to center. Hell of a catch by Jackson Merrill, who's obviously been very hot with the bat, but he made an unbelievable play out at center, and unfortunately the Buccos continue to go in the wrong direction.
Yeah, their season's over. I mean, they lose every night now. It's unbelievable to me how they've collapsed. It really is. They were playing such, I thought, really respectable baseball, 500 or better baseball, and then now they're just, it's every night another, loss, and then so many one-run losses. They just can't get out of their own way.
They really can't. It's amazing what's going on with the Pirates. Speaking of Jackson Merrill, he was named the NL Player of the Week. Like we said, he's been smoking hot, and he got that. Co-Players of the Week in the AL, Yordan Alvarez and Alex Bregman, both Players of the Week. At least they were from the same team, Scotty. They could share the award together there in Houston. The Rays are calling up the number 2 prospect in all of baseball. That would be shortstop Junior Caminero. I'm checking right now, Scotty. He has to be in the lineup if they're going to play him tonight, I would have to assume. Double checking with them now. Rays, Astros. They do have him in the lineup, Scotty. He is hitting fifth, and he's playing third base tonight. So
ring the bell.
You know what? We've been good with that with these guys who first come up. Let me see what they're hanging here for him. If I could quickly get it up. Let's go here. Give me the Tampa Bay Rays game. Let's ring the bell with this kid for your boy. They don't have it up right now. I will get you a number. You know what, Scotty? At Tater time, I'll give you the junior.
You'll
number.
have it by Tater.
I'll have the junior number. I'm playing him. I'm adding him to the list.
Why not?
No matter what tonight, especially against Kikuchi, who we know loves to give up long balls. The Rockies put Chris Bryant on the IL for the 3rd time this year. Another back strain for Chris Bryant, which is just amazing. Man, what a waste of money that was in Colorado for Chris Bryant. Are you kidding me?
Like, think about it. This guy, do you remember how good he used to be? And then he went out there and has literally disappeared off the face of the earth playing in Colorado. He's had so many injuries and has missed so many games. He's non-existent anymore. Like, his career's over. His body is shot. That is amazing to me, his downfall and how his body broke down on him. It really is. You can't make it up. I literally, and I'm not even kidding, I saw a picture of him. Now, maybe it was just me. I don't know what it was. I saw a picture of him. He looks like he's aged. Like, that guy's been out so long and missed so many games and had so many injuries. He looks like he's about 50 years old. I couldn't even believe what I saw when I saw him. It didn't even look like Chris Bryant anymore.
So the Rockies signed him to a 7-year, $182 million contract before the 22 season. So this is his 3rd season in Denver. He has only played 159 games. Now, there's 162 games in a season. He's only played 159, and this is his 3rd season in Colorado. That is called lighting money on fire. If you're the Colorado Rockies, that's what we call that when you do that. Lighting money on fire.
And how many more years does he have on the contract?
4 more years after this one. So,
and it's like,
that's one of those. That's like a Chris Davis or like all these other ones that
can't afford to have him. They can't afford to have him on a team.
Just pay him. That's it. We'll see you later. Go home. But he's had so many injuries. Maybe they could talk him into retiring with a settlement or something like that, because he's washed.
That's what they need to do, or make him the
can't
third base coach.
Make him third base coach. Here you go. Here's $25 million a year. Go coach third base. We found something to do with you. That's
or would
good.
you prefer first base?
After you talk to Sean Pendergast, we will do all of tonight's games. Everybody is in action, and we'll do the Taters in hour number 2 as well.
We got to talk to Sean about those sizzling hot Astros, who I know you love so much.
Love the Astros.
Bang the garbage can.
Yes.